When you think about the size of the UK population and the percentage of Muslims currently in this in the population, it's like around about 8%, right? And yet, over the last year, we've seen an absolute surge in MPs of Muslim faith. We've seen them try to outlaw using Islamophobia, or whatever they deem to be Islamophobic. We saw them using the Sentencing Council to try and give minorities more lenient sentences compared to the native people. We've seen a massive rise in the amount of mosques being built. I think it's the most in Europe by far now. And we've seen just a genuine overall silencing and cover-up of the mass grooming of our children. That's just off the top of my head. That's without the murders and the extra rapes. So it's quite remarkable, considering their population size, the amount of damage that they've done to this country, and yet it doesn't stop. Even I spat when I saw this. Couldn't believe it. Actually on the DWP's website, their own website, the government is listing for a job for Sharia law administrator. The UK government. This is how blatant it is already. Oh, guys. I mean, thankfully, Rupert Lowe saw this, created enough of a fuss, and it was eventually taken down. But it is a sign of things to come. And I think it's a massive statement from the UK government to even allow that on their website. Obviously, it's done by people running the civil service, which is an absolute cancer. And then we've got Keir Starmer, of course, who came in on a lie. Well, on the back of many, many lies. But one of the lies was that he would just lay off, restricting the freedoms of the average Brit. Proceeded, like everything else that he said, to do the exact opposite. Although he won't ID criminals coming into the country, he will ID you for using the internet. And it's not just people in the UK, guys. This has actually went out across Europe. There's been people in many, many countries saying that this has happened to them, that they've not been able to access restricted content because now there's an age restriction slapped on top of it. And again, they've lowered the voting age in this country to 16. But to see a fucking edgy tweet, now you need to be 18. To see an edgy tweet, 18, but to vote, 16. How does that work? But if you thought it was going to stop there, well, that's retarded, because the government will do absolutely everything they can to silence you, because they know that we just use VPNs. And VPNs are great, because it allows you to just do this to the government. And they don't like that, so now they're trying to ban VPNs. I'm sorry, what kind of free democratic country does this? Just wondering, because it's probably a dirty socialist one instead. I remember making this song before Keir Starmer got elected, but I didn't realise how prescient it would be. I didn't realise how much he would actually form into the caricature that I portrayed him as.
amygdala is tiny. That's why you don't resist.
I'm a socialist, I'm a socialist. You will do as I say, or we'll take you away. I'm a socialist, I'm a socialist. With Islam at my side, there's nowhere to hide.
Yes, it seems as though Islam really was the magic spice to make things not nice. But thankfully, Rupert Law's on top of this again. He has banded together with Restore Britain to rally people behind an appeal that was set up by Alex Bainham. And this is to repeal the Online Safety Act, which is common sense. Needed 100,000 signatures. It's got 346,000 now. Thank you, Rupert, for bandying that about. And again, guys, this is a great example of why Restore Britain actually works. It applies pressure, direct pressure, straight away when we need it. We need 100,000 signatures. Easy. So it is very, very good at getting direct action straight away. So please, if you haven't yet, please join Restore Britain. Now, Nigel Farage. Someone accused him of using controversy in order to garner attention and build his name. I don't know where they got that from. Crazy times.
Do you understand, Fiona, why the protest began outside the Bell Hotel just a few days ago?
Yeah, I do understand. These protests are the result of capitalist media and capitalist politicians like yourself
Capitalists
spending all of their political career. I mean, your political career is
It does sound very ridiculous when she says capitalist. Very young.
really built on weaponizing the fears and the insecurities that people have in their lives.
What, being raped?
And horrific things, the most horrific things that can happen to people. You weaponize these events for your political career, which is built on lies. And you say that the problems, the source of all of this comes from other poor people in society, rather than the real criminals, the biggest criminals, the people who are responsible, not just for horrific individual acts of violence, but the systemic violence that people face every single day as a result of austerity,
So if you
as
were
a result
mum,
of the cost of living crisis.
if you were a mum,
and that's the result of capitalism and Starmer.
This has got
and
nothing.
that's what you're distracting.
Let me
You're distracting from that.
Look, it's Fiona. It's all good textbook stuff, but I'm going to put a human point to you, right? A non-political point to you. If you were a mum living in that part of Essex, and you knew that a young male, undocumented male, God knows where he came from, had been charged with sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl, would you as a mum in that part of Essex be happy to let your teenage kids out?
Of course.
You see, that is an absolutely ridiculous question because he knows the answer is no. And by the way, she's also wrong. She's also completely wrong because it's not just the people in charge that are culpable for the crimes. It's also the people doing the crimes. We are very happy to target both of those people. We don't have to choose one, okay?
It's a horrific thing that has happened.
Would you
Anyone
be happy?
can say that.
Answer my
it's
question.
not very profound to say that rape or assault is a bad thing. Everyone can agree on that.
So would you as a mum...
If you were genuinely concerned...
No. Would you as a mum...
If you were
Would you as a mum living in Epping be concerned about what was going on?
Dude, she just accused you of using events and occurrences as emotional blackmail to further your own career or to make political points. And that's exactly what you continue doing. It's very brazen, though. I'll admit, it's very brazen. It's like hiding behind the truth.
I'm sure many mums are concerned. There are many people on these protests are concerned. Some of them, we can say, are not just concerned. Some of these people are verified neo-Nazis, right? Fascists.
Unlike Antifa with masks chucking bottles at the police.
And you're weaponizing that concern.
No, I'm not.
You're weaponizing that concern.
I'm sorry,
So, he is, to a certain extent, and I'm all for it, because I think that concern needs to be weaponized in order to wake people up. Because we've been asleep for too long, and it's been proven that unless people get a little bit radicalized, we continue to stay asleep and allow horrific things to happen. So yeah, they're both wrong and they're both right. Ultimately, guys, it has to be said that our civilizations have changed dramatically upon meeting one another, and I don't think our civilization has particularly come off all the better for it. And I personally believe that a lot of people are starting to wake up to this as well. It's just not worth the trade-off. You know, you talk about multiculturalism and stuff, but I kind of like monocultures. I think they're pretty nice. I think we had a nice one. I would like to go back to it. I'm sure the Americans would as well, if I'm being honest, because it's better than this.
This is actually Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam what do with Aisha. He saved her, and he married her when she was 6 years old, and he lived with her. You know, when she reached the 9 years old.
And then he had sex with her at that
After that.
When she ready?
Yeah.
When she ready,
She menstruated at 9 and then he had sex.
when she ready, and they know that she is ready, they have the physical relation.
May I ask a question? Why do you consider that as pedophilia? I think that a 9-year-old is still a child, so I consider having sex with a 9-year-old to be pedophilia.
But it has already passed that stage. It's not. She became.
You know what he's saying, right? If she can bleed, she can breed. A really, really bad saying that I learned in my childhood. Something that was so ridiculous that you would say it be among mates as an extreme joke. But for them, it's no joke. Now, for them, it's no joke at all. So I don't want this culture. I don't want it. Thanks. You see, look at the difference in just grapes alone. In England and Wales in 2000, it was 8,593. And in 2023, well, it had gone up a bit. As you can see here, it had gone up a little bit. Just a tad. And in every other country, apart from Poland, for some reason, Poland went down, almost halved in that period. Isn't that weird? What could be the thing that links all of those countries apart from Poland? Meanwhile, a man was arrested carrying a severed head in London. One thing we cannot tolerate anymore, guys, is having weak men in our society, weak men that are doing weak things. Things that hurt our country. We can't tolerate this anymore. This guy, for instance.
I've chained myself to the railing of the House of Commons, and I will not.
Right. Dirty little weak soy boy can barely speak. What I would do is handcuff the other hand to the railing as well. Fuck then, aren't you, mate? And these people, again, like, I know a lot of them are paid, I know a lot of them bust around, but it's filled with foreigners, weirdos, kinks, freaks, traitors, you name it. It's basically the dregs of society, the people that hate you anyway. So I don't care what these people say. I don't care how many there are. I don't care how many of the paid little traitors have marched up there, because there's always more of us. They don't have enough protests. As I've found on Twitter, a lot of people have mentioned that they just don't have the numbers. There's more of us than them. There's more of our protests than they can cover. There's more of our protests than the police can even cover. Now, they're not riots, they're protests. They're not far right, they're concerned families trying to protect their children, which is something the government has failed to do for decades. Because if you let them have... You know what, guys? I think it's pretty simple. We live in a country that we tolerate, okay? So if we tolerate certain things, then those things will become our society. It doesn't matter whether we don't want it to or not. We want to live in a peaceful society. We want to live in a high trust society. We want to live in a harmonious society where everyone's nice to each other and we can actually enjoy each other's different cultures. And that everyone learns a unique, wonderful, happy, gay language in which everyone can speak to each other with, I don't know, unicorn farts or something. But it just doesn't exist, does it? So we live in a world in which people will do things out in bad faith. They'll lie to your face and they'll take advantage of you if you show weakness. And if we live in a society that allows that, if our society allows that, if our society is weak enough to allow that, then they're not going to stop. If we supplicate ourselves and become even weaker, they're not going to stop. In the words of Ash Sarkar, when London became minority white,
So, yes, lads, we're winning.
if we let them, they'll continue winning. But if we don't, well, like I said, guys, there's a lot more of us than them. See you later.